Hi, it's Corey from the Personal Greatness Project. So you've got an exam coming up. Lucky you. Everybody knows about exam schedule or exam season. It's a time of stress. It's a time of angst. It's a time of tons of anxiety. And we study hard. You'll put in your hours, you'll walk into an exam, and you know that you're not performing at the level that you want to. You know that you'll walk into that exam, and if you're too stressed or if you're too anxious, you are more likely to forget something, or in some cases bomb, than you would if you were just calm and I got this, business as usual. So easier said than done, I get that. I'm going to give you a little trick that I learned a while back, actually when I was in high school taking exams, and this is applied to exams in high school and university. It applies to presentations in business, really anything where you've put in the work and now it's time to show up and deliver and to not get stressed out about it and not freak out so much about it. So I'm in high school. I'm looking around at everybody who's freaking out about exams, and I was too. I was really stressed and I was really anxious about my exams, just kind of like everybody else is doing. And I stop and I ask myself, why am I so freaked out? Like, really, why am I so freaked out about this situation? I mean, yes, I know that exams are important. Yes, I know that it matters if I do well on this, but what am I so scared of? Do I really think I'm going to bomb this exam so badly? Not really. I mean, I did study. Right? I'm not saying go into an exam and don't study and just cross your fingers. I'm not saying don't prepare for your presentation and just hope everything works out. No, we've got to prepare. We've got to stack the deck in our favor and maximize our probability of succeeding. But if you walk into that exam and you're stressed and you're anxious and you're freaking yourself out, there's a good chance you're going to forget something. And you know what I'm talking about. You study, you know the material, you walk into your exam, you forget the material, and then as soon as your exam is over, you're like, ah, crap, I remembered that thing. Why couldn't I remember this 20 minutes ago? Right? So how do we avoid that? So I'm looking around, I'm wondering why everybody's all freaked out. I'm wondering why I'm freaked out. And because everybody's afraid of failing, and if you fail, then what happens? And if you fail, then what happens? So I asked myself, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, really, what's the worst case scenario? So I could bomb this exam. So what's the worst bombing I could do on this exam? I get a 0, right? That's 0 is the worst. So I get a 0, and then if I get a 0 on this exam, what's the next worst thing that could happen? I probably failed the course. Okay, I failed the course, and then what's the next worst thing that could happen? I have to take the course again. Maybe I have to take it in summer school. Not ideal for sure. I don't want to waste my summer sitting in a classroom if I don't need to. Not my favorite thing to do, certainly not my goal, but the question is this so scary to me? Is this idea so terrifying that I need to freak myself out like my whole life is going to be over if I don't get this exam right, if I don't get the mark that I want to get? No, of course not. We always think about the worst case scenario. We always freak ourselves out, but what we do is we stop short of actually exploring the worst case scenario. So if you're going to do it, if you're going to think worst case, then I say really go for it. Really explore worst case scenario. Close your eyes and picture yourself sitting in your worst case scenario, living in your worst case scenario, and ask yourself, is this really so scary to me? And see, once I realized that the idea of sitting in summer school, while not ideal, certainly wasn't scary to me, it's like I took this huge weight off myself, this pressure just melted off myself on my need to perform, or I was going to self-destruct on my entire future, and I was able to just go into this exam and perform. As it turned out, I got the highest mark in the class, and it's not because I was smarter than anybody or that I studied longer than anybody. It's because I was in the best frame of mind. I was in the best situation to just walk in there and perform. So I really encourage you to take that time to picture your worst case scenario, to embrace your worst case scenario, and to know that your worst case scenario really probably isn't going to happen anyway, and you're much more likely to crush it than you are to bomb it. So put yourself in that headspace, give that a shot, and go be great. Go be great. And do what you're really capable of doing. I hope that helps. Please let me know if it does. And we'll talk again soon. Be great today. Bye for now.